Charlie Spiering, friend of the show, former White House correspondent, and now author of the brand new book. Oh, what a great title and cover this is. I mean, it says it all. It's a picture of Kamala Harris looking like Kamala Harris. And the title says Amateur Hour. Charlie, well done. Just on the title and the presentation, it's an A+.
Thanks, Larry. I really appreciate it.
Well, you also reveal in this book quite a bit about what's going on inside this White House with regard to the vice president and her staff's relationship with Biden and his staff. And, well, one of the first big revelations is Biden didn't even want her. He knew she wasn't up to the job.
Yeah, Larry. Kamala was not his first choice. He preferred Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan. You know, she was more plain-spoken. She was more interested in infrastructure, fix the damn roads in Michigan, kind of had that Midwestern appeal. Kamala was the one that attacked him for being a racist, and even though he was able to ultimately forgive, I think his staff and former President Obama convinced him that he needed somebody like Kamala to speak to that part of his base, because he was just dropping bombs left and right on issues of race, and
and
really
real fast,
sort of shore up his base.
That pressure from Obama that you got to get Kamala Harris, was it because of identity politics, or was it because of radical political positions, or kind of all the above?
I think a lot of it was identity politics. Look, Hillary Clinton in 2016 picked the most vanilla VP candidate possible when she picked Tim Kaine, Senator Tim Kaine. And she lost a lot of the black vote. And so, you know, his senior campaign advisors, Obama himself, is like, look, we got to put together the band. Got to put together the Obama coalition. What better way than to put a black woman on the ticket? And it might have helped him a lot during the 2020 election. But the problem with that is that he did not pick a candidate that was ready to be president on day one. Still has a lot of issues. For the first 3 years, she really struggled.
Charlie, I'm curious your opinion on some of her messaging on abortion. You noted yesterday on Twitter that she said that when she talks to people around the country, that one of their main concerns is that their daughters will go off to college without access to abortion. But is she an effective messenger on that issue? We know the right has a lot of trouble attracting sort of undecided women, or maybe moderate or independent women. And the left has gone crazy. I mean, they're saying things like the Republicans want to take your birth control away, which is obviously a complete lie. But has she been effective, at least on the abortion issue? Is she convincing women that voting for Trump would be the end of the world?
Yeah, as I detail in the book, she really struggled out of the gate on this issue, and the Biden White House hasn't really done that much on the issue. If you look at it, they haven't brought the issue back into Congress. They haven't voted on it. They haven't moved something forward that could be more bipartisan. They're completely happy to use it as a campaign issue, and we've noted multiple stories that show that Biden doesn't necessarily like talking about abortion. He's uncomfortable by abortion. He certainly supports the right to choose. And
Veritas Academy was chosen by Niche as the #1 Christian and private school in Northern Virginia and 3rd in the state of Virginia. Have coffee with the headmaster every Tuesday morning. Schedule your visit now. VeritasAcademyDC.com. VeritasAcademyDC.com.
Welcome to Talkville, the ultimate Smallville rewatch podcast. Karen, what you got?
Hi guys, Karen Applelam from Australia with a quick question for season 3 Talisman. That knife wound healing scene was so powerful. Tom, what was it like to do that scene with John as your director?
It's great that I was with those people, because when your eyes are closed and someone is supposed to going to stab you in the chest, you have to really trust that they're not going to hurt you. So I was in good hands with John.
Jump in now or catch up on any of the past seasons of Talkville on YouTube or wherever you listen.
Roe v. Wade, but he really doesn't like talking about abortion. And so Kamala is probably her safest space when she's talking about abortion. She's been talking about abortion since she was, Attorney General of California. She did everything she could do to sort of boost Planned Parenthood and prove that she was their true champion. Even since then, and even in the presidential campaign, she went further on the abortion issue than many other candidates did.
We're speaking with Charlie Spiering. His brand new book, Amateur Hour, about Kamala Harris, is available now. And Charlie, a lot of people, President Trump asked over the weekend whether he thinks Joe Biden will make it to Election Day or whether he'll drop out. Trump said, yeah, honestly, I don't think he's going to make it. I think he's going to drop out. A lot of people speculating about that. Is Kamala necessarily the heir apparent? Is she and her team trying to position herself to be that one? I mean, kind of tough position because she's got to act like Biden's, 100% capable of 4 more years, but there's got to be stuff going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's almost comical to hear her repeatedly say, Joe Biden's great, he's in good health, he's sharp, he's ready to go, there's no problem. But that's kind of what she has to do at this point. So, yeah, it's a big problem for Democrats if Biden can't make it to Election Day. What do? Do they eject the highest-ranking black female candidate for somebody else, for a white male from California? I don't really see that working too well, but, the huge amount of Democrats are screaming at that possibility. They want something different. So, I guess the only way to sort of safely exit her, move her off the ballot would be if Michelle Obama runs.
Oh, Lordy. So let's get into the dirt, because the first of all, she loses staff like left and right. I mean, it's a little better than it was, but it's pretty bad. What is said about her behind her back by staff members, former staff members, Biden people?
Yeah, not a good leader, Larry. Thin-skinned, cursing at them behind the scenes, won't take responsibility for her failures, but is willing to throw around blame to everybody else. Very, very demanding, but not a fun person to work for. And look, if you're a DC professional, and so many of us in this listening area are, the moment you start working for a bad boss, you're immediately saying, this is not a future. This is not a job that's going to boost me up. A job in the vice president's office is kind of a good stepping stone to the White House, but it's become a stepping stone to lots of other places rather than to stay with Kamala Harris.
How panicked are Democrats right now at the thought of her being, first of all, right now, second in line, but again, we don't have a deep bench. The Democrats, there's not a lot of choices there. Have you talked to Democrats? Do you have any sources that are saying, this can't be Kamala. Kamala can't be next.
Well, their biggest hope is that Biden can actually make it. And I think that a lot of Democrats are just kind of, holding their breath, hoping that he can make it across the finish line, beat Trump. And then whatever happens after that happens. Yeah, Kamala Harris could be our next president without running a singular campaign. She dropped out before Iowa in the 2020 primary because her campaign was such a disaster. Wow, she could be our next president, and without anybody actually voting for her as a presidential candidate again.
Real fast, Charlie, we were talking about your book earlier in the show, so if you saw a little spike on Amazon, that was us, and you'll probably see a bigger spike now. But we were remarking on the fact that, 3 years into this glass ceiling shattering, groundbreaking, historic vice presidency, first black woman ever, one heartbeat away from the White House, or as you put it, I think one stroke away from the White House. But Charlie, isn't it remarkable that there have been no positive books written about her? Yours is the first book about Kamala Harris's vice presidency I'm aware of, and it's rather critical. You would think that there would be so many glowing, wonderful books about what an incredible, iconic, let's build the statue to her now kind of person she is, and there's no one.
Yeah, not yet. She certainly hasn't built a legacy, right? She made history, quote, history, when she was first inaugurated, but since then it's been a disaster. Then people on the left, people on the right, they know something's wrong. They know she's not ready to be president, but they're unwilling to speak out. They're unwilling to give her the scrutiny, and that's the risk when you have a history-making candidate. Maybe they don't get as much scrutiny as they deserve, but in this case, there's a lot of work to do still.
Our late great friend and mentor Andrew Breitbart used to say the same thing about President Obama. Hey, maybe we should vet this guy. No, he's making history. That's enough. Thank you, Charlie. Great stuff. Congratulations on the book. Very happy for you.
Thanks so much, Larry. Great to be back. And what better way to kick off the book release day than to be on WMAL.
Oh, thank you for that. Take care. Hi to the family. And get your copy of the book. It's called Amateur Hour. It's available everywhere. Simon & Schuster, thank you very much. It's 7:16. Let's get... Veritas Academy was chosen by Niche as the #1 Christian and private school in Northern Virginia and 3rd in the state of Virginia. Have coffee with the headmaster every Tuesday morning. Schedule your visit now. VeritasAcademyDC.com. VeritasAcademyDC.com.